My name's Alix Pearlstein, and I have been living in Orient for 11 years. I have been going to the Parrish since I was maybe in my teens, when I first started spending time in this area. And I am so happy to be part of this show. I feel like it came at such a perfect time for me with the works that I have in the exhibition, because they incorporate other artists' work in them. And it's something I have done over the years. I've worked through in many different ways. And probably there's some aspects of that in most works that I make, but in this body of work, it's really foregrounded. And I found so much overlap with works that are actually in these works and artists in the collection. This way of working started for me in the early 90s, and I was working with, they're mostly images cut out of magazines, all kinds of magazines. And I know I've been stressing the art, other artworks in these, but there are also all kinds of other images. And it kind of, this way of working kind of came together in a body of work called Interiors, which I made in 1996. And I think there were 18 collages that were part of that body of work, but 6 of them became storyboards for actions that I performed in a video. So sometimes I feel like it's a stretch to say it, but it's also probably true that everything goes back to thinking through performance in some way, or I'm always working with the figure, or actually people. And I think more about people and like a person than the body. There's a work that I made with an early Chuck Close, his big self-portrait, which is something that's been in my picture archive since the early 90s. And a lot of the images that are of very well-known artworks that I've collected are things that I guess are, iconic, and that I may feel very ambivalent about or conflicted about, but I know they're just in my consciousness, whether I want them to be or not. I wasn't really looking for rather Chuck Close in the collection. But when I did find the Annie Leibovitz portrait of him, I didn't want to use a work that he made. I wouldn't want to choose to hang his work. But when I found the portrait of him, and I think it's such a kind of incisive portrait, I just felt it really made sense to work with it. Some of the choices came out of kind of recognizing how there was this thread between the works of artists in the East End who have worked on the East End, and also I think I started with, because it was what I had just started working with maybe when the show came about, the collages that incorporate Philip Pearlstein figures. So I think all except 2 of the works that I chose have Philip Pearlstein figures in them. And I think I had originally had like a smaller group. And then when I started finding some of the other works and sort of making some of the other connections, and I think it started with the work that has Carolee Schneemann and Pollock, and realizing, oh my God, this happened. these things were happening, like in the same part of the Springs. And it just, it seemed like that had to be in here. So that was sort of like when I decided to expand. So one of the earlier collages in this body of work has Carolee Schneemann performing Interior Scroll. And I was looking for Carolee Schneemann work in the collection. I didn't find one, but then Corinne showed me that there was in fact a really wonderful photo of her by Fred McDara. And it's not the angle that you usually see, and I just felt like everything came together when Corinne showed me that photo. I'm so pleased to have that here. There's a work that has Hiroshi Sugimoto Seas, And I'm not sure how I came upon it in searching the collection. I think one late night I just thought, I just need to go deeper into this. And I found Mary Ellen Bartlett's work of those Hiroshi Sugimoto's in storage. And I couldn't believe it because the collective title of this group of collages is Archive Collages. And just seeing the way that just seeing her photograph and that the works are in storage, and just thinking that way about like archiving and collecting and the kind of life of artworks when they're not exhibited. And it's a beautiful photograph, so I was very excited to find that.